Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newpol and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.
Well, hello, dummies, and welcome to episode number 155 of the stupidest sports show on earth. My name, as you all know, is Tim Night Train Van Stratton. Alongside me, once again, is Rodney Newpol. Rodney, what's up, man? How are you?
No, man, not much, man. Quite the scorcher going on here. I was telling you before the show, like 105 to 110 heat index. It just doesn't go away either. It just makes you tired. Just wears you out. You don't want to be out in that sun. It's brutal.
It is suffocating. It is from what I remember from Illinois summers. You know, I'm so far removed from them now, but suffocating and oppressive are the two words that I used to throw around frequently. Like in those really hot days where it's just like you cannot do anything.
Yeah, just not pleasant. Not pleasant. You go outside and you just feel it. You just feel zapped, and you go out and you start walking a little bit, and you're sweating already. You feel like you need to take a half dozen showers a day. Yeah, Here we are. But happy 4th of July weekend, and hope the 4th of July celebrations in Hawaii are all you have dreamed of and more.
There are celebrations. There are parades. There are fireworks. I'm assuming there's some type of barbecue. What's the Newpol 4th of July consist of on a regular basis?
Well, I mean, there's been years where we've gotten to different various parties. Sometimes they host them, sometimes they don't. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like this year, I don't know as if we have any. So 4th of July falls on Saturday. I don't know if we have a whole lot of plans. We don't really have rituals per se. Now the local firework festival is tomorrow night, Friday night. It's done on the 3rd. So we'll go out there and it's public and there'll be a lot of people there. But as far as the night of the 4th, the day of the 4th, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We don't have a set ritual per se.
Those are the best plans. Plans.
I'm good.
And it's just like figure it out as we go. What sounds good right now? And then you do that thing.
Yeah, I'm good with it. No plans is good.
Yep. A couple reminders that we are now 69 days until the NFL. Nice. And also thank you to Gateway Sports, who puts up with our little bit uneven schedule that we've had over the course of the summer, but appreciate their support as always. And Rodney, I know you have some very heartfelt, meaningful words for Gateway Sports that you'd like to share.
Yeah, you mentioned the uneven schedule. Just a program note. Off Tuesday next week, so off on the 7th, back on the 9th. Anyways, yes, Gateway Sports, they cover it all. Preps, college, and pros. Real coverage, real voices, real passion for the game. From live shows to podcasts, Gateway Sports connects the region like nobody else. Proudly powered by First Form and Recalibrate. Visit gatewaysports.net, every level one Gateway. And if you love sports at every level, there's only one place you need to be, and that's Gateway Sports. So thank you to great people over there. And so we're off Tuesday, back on Thursday, and should be pretty consistent once August, September gets here, but we'll put some programming notes out there later on that.
Yeah, I think so. But, it's the summer. You got stuff to do. It's a whole thing. But appreciate people's patience with us. And, we'll be back on Thursday. But anyway, let's start off the show, Rodney. What have we missed since we last did the show? How about every single star player in the NBA seemingly finding a new team?
Yeah, it's been wild.
Yeah, this feels like the most eventful offseason that we've had since, honestly, maybe like 2019 or so, because 2019 is when we had the Clippers forming the Kawhi Paul George super team, as well as the Nets forming the Kyrie Durant team. different kind of crazy, but like I feel like it's been that long since we had an offseason where there were seemingly this many really notable players on the move. Seems like this year, though, it's less free agents and it's more trades where we're seeing that. And, I have some thoughts on that later. But chief among the players that's going to be on a new team next year, I didn't think it was possible. I really did. Like, it was just one of those things where it's like, we've been doing the song and dance for years, but LeBron James will not be a Los Angeles Laker in the 2026-27 season. I can't come here and say like, I'm not surprised, because like every time you ask me, I'd say he was going to be a Laker.
Right.
But I will say there was just a lot of, it got to the point where there was too much smoke around the fire. And just it eventually, when you start to see like all of these things about the Warriors and then the Cavs, and it's just like, well, he hasn't signed yet. If, it's not like this is a James Harden situation where it's like, oh yeah, he'd be like open to extending. It's like, we hadn't heard anything about LeBron and his willingness to extend there. Like there was nothing.
Right.
And while the announcement was kind of like, oh, this is LeBron's decision, I'm sure he's good with it. But I also think, tinfoil hat here, I also kind of think the Lakers are totally fine with this at the same time. And I'm sure it was one of those things where it didn't exactly fight very hard. It seems like it was a good time overall for a change of scenery on both sides. But it's just surprising though. It's the longest that he's ever been with one team for a stretch.
That's crazy.
His first stint in Cleveland was 7 years. He was with the Lakers for 8 seasons. So this is the longest that he's ever been with one team for a period of time, which is 8 years in Los Angeles.
Yeah, no, it was a little, always surprising, because it's like, oh, this is actually happening. And then when the Lakers went out July 1st and signed like 4 guys in the first 4 hours of free agency, that's when it was like, oh, yeah, it actually is happening. Like they are moving on without him. And then the questions came about Bronny and, what's he going to do? And, and now it's a situation where it's totally Luka's team. And where do the Lakers sit when it comes to the West? Because the West, we've talked about it in the last couple shows, but where do the Lakers sit in the West now with their current roster?
It's a good question. All right, so the Lakers have had arguably more turnover in their starting 5 than any team in the NBA right now. Yeah. So gone is LeBron James, Marcus Smart, Luke Kennard. I would say those, and the Jackson Hayes you could throw, but I would say like James, Kennard, Marcus Smart, and potentially Rui Hachimura. Yeah. If they're not able to. Although today, like, I don't know, I'm starting to get the feeling that they're really trying hard to get Rui to come back some way, somehow. But let's just say that Rui's also out. That's like 4 of their top 8 guys from their postseason roster.
Yeah.
Incoming, obviously the big move is Walker Kessler, who I guess because the Jazz are just so forgettable, it did not even occur to me that Walker Kessler played all of 5 games last season.
Yeah, I did not realize that either until this week.
Yeah, but and has had some injury issues before, but when he does play, like I've seen people say if Victor Wembanyama doesn't exist, Walker Kessler is the best rim protector in the NBA. Like he's that good defensively and the exact type of center that a team with Luka Doncic needs.
Okay.
So I love that. And I don't care about the cost. Like I don't care about the draft picks. It was like, oh, all these draft, like if the Lakers get to where they want to go, those draft picks aren't going to mean a whole lot anyway.
Right.
Like, so I'm fine with it. And like they needed a center. They lost LeBron. At this point, they positioned to where they had to get one of Kessler or Jalen Duran, and Kessler's great. Okay. So then in addition, it's Quentin Grimes, who's going to slot in there, I think, sort of as the new like Marcus Smart. Sandro, and I'm going to butcher this name, Mamu Kelashvili, who I got to be honest, Rodney, I hadn't heard of until like 2 days ago.
Right. Same.
And now I've talked myself into him being the starting 4 for the Lakers next season.
Okay. All right.
I mean, they gave him what, 4 years, 56 million, something like that. Like that's not third string center money. You're going to be a real part of what they're trying to do. And then Colin Sexton. Colin Sexton is probably the one that was the most surprising to me, but like I get it from scorer off the bench.
Right.
So like it's a team that I'm not necessarily sure on paper people are going to look at and say, oh, they're so much better. I actually think their first instinct on paper will be like, wow, they've gotten worse. But I think what they've done is now, rather than having a bunch of guys, I think now they have an identity and they've built a team that is more complementary of Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. Like they now have their two foundational pieces, and it's like everything else that we build is going to best be tailored toward them. Like they're guys. All the guys they added can shoot the three, do it well. So it's a lot of shooters that can stretch the floor. Like, and there's still areas of need, obviously. And I don't think their offseason's done. Like I mentioned, I think they're really, really trying hard to bring Rui Hachimura back. But like the roster has a vision, and it's now like this is Luka Doncic's team. They're not trying to figure out, okay, well then how do we balance Luka and LeBron and try to make it work there. Like now they have an identity and I'll trust the vision. Yeah. And maybe it's just because I've watched too many Sandro Mamukelashvili highlights in the last day. And I'm like, I see it. I see something there. He's got a nice shot, but that's where I'm at with LeBron and the Lakers.
Yeah. I just think it's interesting. I agree with you. I think most people will step back, really probably more of the LeBron factor. Oh, we don't have LeBron, not going to be as good, but like, Luka as the star is going to be just fine. Now, I don't know what their ceiling in the West is, though. Like, is it fourth, third?
Well, OKC or the Lakers? You could take OKC. San Antonio or the Lakers?
San Antonio.
So, like, right off the bat, those two. And then the next group, I mean – I like Denver has done nothing. And I think a lot of people are talking like Denver is sort of the team to watch to figure out how they restructure their roster. But like Denver hasn't done a single thing. Like I think the only thing they've done is they've lost Tim Hardaway and they've added Marvin Bagley as a backup center.
They are linked. They have been linked to LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of teams are linked there. I don't think LeBron's going to play for Denver, but all right, Minnesota. Do we like Minnesota with LaMelo?
Probably.
Yeah. I think if you had to ask me right now where I would put the Lakers, health wise, obviously, and coaching and depth, I would probably put them at best fourth.
Yeah.
At best fourth. Like I think they win 50 games. I think they're still a playoff team rather than a play-in team because a lot of people forget that Luka Doncic guy's pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Like the guy averages 30 plus. Like he's when he's on, he's maybe the top offensive player in the entire sport. The roster complements him. Like I think it's a playoff team still, but it's hard to see how they get past the real top dogs in the West unless things just explode. Like their bet on Quentin Grimes and Sandro becoming like starting players is correct, and they're huge. And Luka and Reeves coexist, and somehow the defense isn't terrible. Like the defense is passable. It's hard to win in the NBA when your defense is like not good. And that's the main question I have with the Lakers. Like their two best players are bad at defense. Now, Walker Kessler's really good at defense, but is that enough to make up for your two stars that are both actively bad at defense?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's not a great situation to be in. One defender, if your guards can't guard anybody, you could be in trouble.
Yeah, and like that was the nice thing about having Marcus Smart last year, because like Marcus Smart, I think, really helped with that.
Yeah.
When you had LeBron and Reeves on the court together, and then LeBron, who, he's 41. Like you can't really expect him to be a plus defender anymore. And I'm not totally sure if any of the guys that they added, with the exception of Kessler, are considered plus defenders. So that's kind of my biggest issue right now, and especially when you watch a team like San Antonio's young, but clearly they can defend, and OKC can defend, and Minnesota I think is going to be able to defend, especially with like McDaniels and Gobert. Like it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to go against.
Yeah, let's move to the rest of the NBA here. You put this together, but I was going to move to it. So, insane NBA week, my favorite move. So, I want to talk a little bit of. I'm still baffled about. So, is Charlotte's done? The Buzz.
I don't think the Hornets are done. I can't imagine that they're done. But Jaylen Brown's gone.
Yeah.
Sort of like. Who would be the possible player? Like, I think that's really the question then, Rodney. Yeah. So it's like, I don't think they are done, but they might have to be done, because it's like, what's the move? Now, like, they're in a position where they have so much draft capital, like they could go out and try to get someone. But okay, so let's look at it like this. So like the Orlando Magic last year were a team that assembled, like, they have really good young players like Paolo, Franz Wagner. It's kind of similar to what Charlotte has with Brandon Miller and Colin Knippel.
Yeah.
And they clearly felt that they were a Desmond Bain away from really elevating and legitimately competing to win the East. It didn't work.
No.
But they gave up, what, 4 first-round picks, 5 first-round picks?
I believe so, yeah.
So, like, is Charlotte saying, hey, we got these great pieces, but we're a Desmond Bain or Mikal Bridges, like one of those, like not a superstar, but like a star, I guess, or border star adjacent type of player, to where we can trade 3, 4, 5 first round picks, and then that's going to take the next step. I don't see them doing that. No. Not with how they've approached this offseason. I don't know, and it almost feels like they're okay with taking a slight step back this year and banking on their young guys to really elevate, and then going on from there to seeing how the roster gels, maybe making a deadline add, or maybe waiting until next offseason to add someone.
Yeah, I was a little confused. I mean, they went with, they made 2 big deals, and then I was like, okay, they're loading up. They're going to go get somebody, and like Naz Reid. Naz Reid's a good player, and we talked about that trade, but it's like, I don't know. Like, are you just stockpiling these picks? I'm a little confused by them. So that's been my most intriguing move. Favorite move?
Well, let me recap some of the moves for you here, because there's been quite a few the big names here. So I'm going to tell you some of the names that have moved, okay?
Yeah.
So obviously we go to Giannis Antetokounmpo early on. Feels like so long ago at this point. But since then, we've had Kawhi Leonard moving to the Raptors. We've had Jaylen Brown moving to the Sixers. We've had LaMelo Ball to Minnesota. We've had John Morant to Portland. We've had Julius Randle to Brooklyn. We've had Brandon Ingram going back to the Clippers. We've had Miles Bridges to Phoenix. We've had Nick Claxton to the Bulls. Norm Powell to the Bulls too. Like, I'm so intrigued by him. Honestly, what are your Kawhi to Toronto thoughts? Because I have a theory that I'm going to throw your way, but I'd like to hear your thoughts there.
Yeah, I'm just not overwhelmed by Kawhi anymore. I get this feeling that Kawhi just doesn't really get too interested in the NBA anymore.
Kawhi was Kawhi Leonard last season, he played 65 games. He averaged 28 points a game.
That's really good, but
that's really good.
Quietly.
Yeah, for an irrelevant team, like a team that was largely irrelevant for the entire season. But 65 games last year. The season before he was only 37, and the year before that he was 68. So he hasn't played more than 68 games since 2017, which was his second to last season with the Spurs.
That honestly surprises me. He played 65 last year. I would have said less.
Yeah. No, he had a great year. He was fantastic last year. And the Clippers maybe are saying, he's 35 right now. this is probably the time to sell high. It's kind of like what Charlie did with LaMelo. Like LaMelo Ball,
Yeah.
you look at his games played. Like last year was kind of it was an aberration a little bit with the amount of games he played compared to where he's been previously. So they're like, let's sell high on him.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting move. Paul George getting moved.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
I'm trying to come up with my favorite here.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you why. Like the Kawhi move. So Toronto basically just swaps out Brandon Ingram for Kawhi Leonard. So their starting five right now is Emmanuel Quickley, R.J. Barrett, Kawhi Leonard, Scotty Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl. That's a pretty good group.
Pretty good group.
Like,
yeah,
that's that's tons of length. Like Kawhi doesn't have to be like the everything guy because Scotty Barnes is an all-star level player. Like R.J. Barrett's still really good. The bench is probably a little weak. They added Kyle Anderson today, but I don't necessarily think that's a needle mover. So maybe that's the issue where if Toronto runs into any injuries, like they might be in trouble, which, with Kawhi, like it's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Or at least, he sits to prevent the injuries. But either way, it results in missed games. But my theory with this, and I've seen some people sort of talk about it, we still haven't gotten any ruling from the NBA about these punishments with Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers and the whole aspiration thing. And it feels weird to me that Kawhi Leonard, he was a Toronto Raptor for like less than a year, won a championship there, never really had any interest in re-signing there, was always going to be a one and done there with the Raptors. And then suddenly, not only is Toronto one of the only places that he would accept a trade to and extend with, but now he wants to retire there. Like now he's Mr. Toronto. Like he's Mr. Like, this is such a great place for me and so comfortable here. And I don't know, like perhaps there was like, hey, you know what would really help your case, Clippers, like with the NBA here is like maybe you send Kawhi back to where he where you got him from, where you illegally offered him a contract. Subverted the cap to get him. Maybe you just send him back there and the punishments will just be a little less severe. I don't know. Like that's part of me thinks that might be a factor here because otherwise, like I'm not sure why he would be so gung ho about going back there.
But if you're Toronto, are you that excited about getting him at age 35?
I think so. Yeah, like he's better than Brandon Ingram. And Brandon Ingram actually had a really good year for them. But yeah, I think he's better than Ingram. He was there for a year and it won them a championship and was the star player on that championship team. So, and like, okay, I get it. Like there's a level of comfort that there is in him going to someplace that at least he's played before. Like the two places that he allegedly would extend with was there in San Antonio.
Yeah. So
like, I get it from that regard, but like, do I think Toronto's better than the Knicks? No. But like, yeah, this was a team that was already top 6 in the East that I feel like improved.
Right. I was going to ask about the Bulls. What do you think about the Bulls?
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting better.
Yeah, like they're okay. So they're getting better. So they're starting five right now. It's a new look for them, for the Bulls. It's Josh Giddey, Norm Powell at the 2. So I was kind of surprised Norm Powell chose the Bulls. Like I felt like everyone was saying Pistons, and by the way, Pistons haven't done anything. Buzelis at the 3, Caleb Wilson, who's the 4th overall pick, was likely going to be their starting 4, and then Nick Claxton at the 5. It's an improved starting 5. It's probably the best starting 5 they've had since like the Levine, DeRozan, Vucevic team in terms of just like on paper. Do I think it's enough to get them out of the play-in at best? No. Because, like, again, you're relying on a rookie, a second-year player, kind of a streaky shooter, Norm Powell, a defense, like primarily defensive center in Nick Claxton, and then, you have Josh Giddey. And then, like, the bench behind them, it's like Jalen Smith, Isaac Okoro, Trey Jones. Like, it's not a very deep bench. So, yeah, it's a new coach. So, I think they're better. I think they're better. Like, they've only lost, like Sexton and Anthony Simons. Like, that's it. That they can easily overcome that. But I don't think it's enough to overtake I mean, not just the top 6 teams in the East, but now you also, Miami. Are they better than Orlando still? I don't think so. It's like Orlando, Atlanta, Miami, Philly. Like all of those teams are either already were better or have become significantly better. Like Philly is not in that play-in area anymore. Miami's not in that play-in area anymore, and the Bulls still are.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. And then your next. So, what do you think here? Your next question: who did improve the most?
I kind of think the Philadelphia 76ers should have won the offseason. And
Jaylen Brown,
and Paul George had a very good postseason.
Yeah.
Let's not get it twisted. I think the reason that everyone is so low on Paul George these days is because of the contract. If Paul George was a free agent, there would be multiple teams that would be bidding for his services and looking to give him $10, $15 million a year for what he still can provide. It's just he's not a $50, $60 million a year player, which that's what the contract is, and that's tough, but like he's still serviceable. That said, Jaylen Brown was like top 5 or 6 in MVP voting.
Oh, yeah.
And like Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid when healthy, there's an argument that when they're all going, like that's 3 of the top, I would say 3 of the top 20 players in basketball altogether.
With VJ Edgecombe as their number 4.
With VJ Edgecombe, one of the 8 men who changed my life. With Nick Nurse, who was an NBA champion coach. And then you added Anthony Simons today, who's going to be a really nice guard for them off the bench, like in case Maxey misses any time, which he missed 12 games from last year. You had Dean Wade, who started almost 60 games for Cleveland. Like that's a pretty good group. Yeah. And what I like now is like with Jaylen Brown and Tyrese Maxey, like if Joel Embiid's only going to play half a season for you, it's okay. Before it was, Joel Embiid misses time, they're screwed. Now if he misses time, it's like it's okay. We still have Maxey, we have Jaylen Brown. Like Joel Embiid can be their actual third option now, rather than their first option.
Will Joel Embiid and Jaylen Brown work together?
Sure, I don't see why not. I don't think so.
Yeah,
or I don't see any reason why they can't. I know a lot of people talk about Jaylen Brown like, his personality, whatever. Like, I think he's just smart. He's just a smart guy, and he wants to win just like all the others. And I don't think there's going to be any issues there.
Yeah. Who improved the most in the West? Portland?
Did they improve? Is John Morant an improvement? So Portland is. So are they going to start Damian Lillard, John Morant, Drew Holiday? They still have Scoot Henderson. They still have Shaedon Sharp. Like, I have no idea what that plan is.
I'm curious. I'm really curious what Portland will look like. That's for sure.
Oh, I'm very fascinated to see how that all works because I truly don't know. Yeah, I mean, out in the West, like as far as improving, because OKC hasn't done anything. San Antonio maybe adding Tobias Harris, but is that enough for them to say like, they've improved the most?
Right. I mean,
I feel like so much of the action has been East. Yeah, I like Minnesota, but there are people today who think that adding LaMelo Ball to that mix and losing Naz Reid doesn't necessarily qualify as an improvement. So even that's not a total slam dunk. So I don't know. Like the Lakers have clearly been the most active, but is that active to really improve them? Because again, there are people that totally disagree with me that said they are so much worse than they were yesterday.
Now let's say LeBron goes to the Warriors.
Yeah.
Then what?
This is the funny thing with LeBron is all the talk is that money's not a factor here, and he could accept as low as the league minimum, the veterans minimum. Imagine adding LeBron James, who I want to remind you people, these haters and losers, that a 41-year-old LeBron James still averaged like 21 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists.
Yeah, he could be playing for the league minimum.
Yeah, and was the guy for a Lakers team that didn't have Reeves, that didn't have Luka, that took down Kevin Durant and the Rockets in 6 games in the first round of the playoffs. Like LeBron could still win a playoff series by himself.
Yeah.
So it could be minimum. It could be like the mid-level exception, $14 million a year. Like, and you add that type of player on that low of a contract, that has the chance to totally shift the title odds for any team that gets him if that happens.
Let's say it's Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, LeBron James. How's that work?
And Draymond Green.
How's that work?
I mean, I think that Steph and LeBron would have enough chemistry with each other to be able to do that. I mean, like the basketball IQ on that team is outstanding. Like what they lack in terms of youth and that, like, they more than make up for, and just like that's going to be the smartest, trickiest team to play in the league, just because like the basketball IQ is going to be so high all across the board. And you add in, like, that Warriors team still has Al Horford, Kristaps Porzingis. Like,
that's such an old veteran team, though.
That is a grizzled team. Do they have enough to play 82 games and then 4 playoff series? I don't think so, because that's a lot. But like, boy, that's fun. And like, I personally, I want him to go back to Cleveland at this point. However, like, there is a level of serious intrigue where like he goes to Golden State just to see what that looks like for a year.
So real quickly here, kind of wrapping up the NBA. If he goes to Cleveland,
well,
where are they in the East? Are they still like do they move up a spot at all? Like, are they?
So they finished where?
Third, right? Third.
I think so. Yeah, I think third.
I mean, do they pass the Knicks? Do they pass the Pistons?
Well, okay. So the top, yeah. Well, no, I think they were fourth. They're fourth. I think the Knicks were third.
Okay.
So, I mean, Boston, you imagine, I think, takes a step back.
Yeah.
So if it's LeBron James for a minimum salary, and it's James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, LeBron James, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, that's the best starting 5 in the NBA.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
But then
they still have James Harden.
Yeah, but then you have to win playoff games. And, LeBron in the playoffs at this point, it isn't like, oh, it's a clutch thing. He's old. He's going to be 42.
Yeah.
James Harden, it is a clutch thing, I guess, or whatever happens with James Harden in the postseason. And then it's basically like, all right, LeBron and Donovan Mitchell, because like Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, they're bigs, and like Mobley especially is offensive upside, but like you win with guards, and you just like you win with guards. Like, yeah, that's how it works in the NBA. So yeah, I that would be a really good team. That would be a really, really good team that for sure I think would probably move into maybe a tie with the Knicks as like the likeliest team to win the East next year if that move happened.
Yeah. Should be interesting. That's what the NBA world's waiting on now is LeBron, right?
Yeah, like wherever he goes, like if he goes somewhere for a very reasonable salary, and it's a team that's already good, it has the potential to totally change everything.
Yeah,
like and Cleveland would be. Yeah,
he's going to go somewhere that's good.
Yeah, like he's not going to go to Memphis. Like, of course he's going to go somewhere that's good. He just wants a good basketball fit in a place that, he wants to try to get one more. And like, I get it. And like, if he goes to Cleveland or Golden State or back to Miami, like with him in those lineups, they probably have a better chance than the Lakers do right now. Like, I understand that. So
yeah.
All right. Do you think Miami's an option? I feel like there's a lot of people that are buzzing that, but I don't know if that's just Heat fans or if it's anyone legitimate.
I mean, why
So
not?
Miami,
He'd be an option if he's going to sign for league minimum.
Davion Mitchell, Andrew Wiggins, LeBron, Giannis, Bam Adebayo.
I mean, you could really score. LeBron,
You could
Giannis,
score. I don't know.
Bam.
I don't think you could shoot.
No.
But you can score.
No. You score.
You can score. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you want him to go? Where do you, Rodney Newpol, want him to go? Like as a you're a Charlotte guy now, but like someone who just watches NBA and like watches a bunch of teams and just has a lot of respect and interest in the league. Like, what's the storyline that you are most hoping for what could be his last season?
I think it's Golden State because I'd love to see him and Steph try to play together.
Yeah. Is there a part of you that feels like it like kind of ruins the whole like Warriors Cavs rivalry from the 2010s if he just ends up going to Golden State at the end of his career? Or like are we too far removed from it? Like it was 8 years ago, the last time that they faced in the finals.
I mean, it kind of spoils it a little bit, but I don't know if it completely ruins it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Boy, like, wouldn't it be interesting if he went to New York and went to the Knicks?
I don't know if the Knicks can pull that one off. Might be a little too late. All right, here's a question. If the Knicks, they have a starting five that's like the chemistry is perfect, everyone's locked into place. If LeBron James is like, hey, I want to come to New York, I'll play for the league minimum to join the defending champs, and let's try to be the first back-to-back winners in a decade. Does he come off the bench?
Plays for Mike Brown again? I mean, we've seen it before.
We play for Mike Brown. That's true. No, I mean, if anyone's going to come out, it would be Josh Hart. So, like, Josh Hart's the likely guy to come off the bench there. But what if the Knicks say, like, yeah, you know what, LeBron, we'd love you, but we'd like you to be the first guy off the bench for us because we want to keep our title-winning starting five on the court together?
I think he'd do it.
I don't think he'd do it. I don't think he would come off the bench. I don't.
No. All right. Well, no, probably not. You're probably right. He's not coming. 42 years old. He's not coming off. But like,
people are saying Philly too as an option for him. Like, or at least Philly is very much now positioning themselves to be like, hey, we're interested. Like, they currently have Dominic Barlow starting. They could easily swap him out, put LeBron freaking James there, and then you have Maxey, Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, LeBron, Embiid.
That's pretty good.
I mean, like, there's so many possibilities. There are
that's a pretty good lineup.
The odds are, whether it's Golden State, Cleveland, Philly, like the odds are whatever lineup he does join is going to become the best starting five in the league.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
just based on who's available. Like if it's a contender, like he'll be the missing piece. And like, he's never been the missing piece of a team. He's always like, he's the guy, but like now he's joining a team as a missing piece, like an already good team. And this could be, it could be transformative.
Yeah. It's going to be fun to watch. What do you think his timetable is? We going to know before our next show?
You know what? So that's Thursday, right?
Yeah. July 9th.
I say, I'll say within the week. I'll say by this time next week we'll know where he's going to be playing basketball next year. I hope so. Because I can't do the whole like talk for a month with this before he decides. But I think by next week, like because moves will have been official by July 6th, by Monday. Moves will have been official, so like everyone will have a real good idea of where the roster stands and salaries. And then I think after that, like it should be pretty short.
All right. We'll see. We'll wait and see.
Yep. All right. Let's move on. So I think today was the last day of All-Star voting. Is that right? Do we have any updates there, Rodney?
I'm going to take a look. I think it is the last day. Yes. The All-Star. Well, the All-Star game's less than 2 weeks away. So, yeah, 1 day left. Yeah, I think it is done picking the phase 2, which I still don't like. I don't like this phase 2 stuff. Just pick the best players. Yeah, I don't think there is an update. Okay. After the first day of voting, which was June 30th, so it's been a while. Right away, Vlad was beating your Uncle Ben Rice. Of course he was.
Yeah.
Bobby Witt was at short. Junior Camaro's at third. So they got those right. They had Trout, Buxton, and Judge in the outfield. So they're getting them right. But I don't think we've seen a final. So I don't know how much update we can give without seeing a final listing yet.
Yeah. I'll say, so when you and I were going through this last week and we were just shocked by the amount of Blue Jays and the amount of like Dodgers and stuff. So in the National League for the phase 2, 14 of the 16 options are from 3 teams.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then in the American League, 10 of the 16 options are from 2 teams.
Yeah. Toronto,
and then like the Yankees have 3.
Yeah. Who, by the way, are struggling right now.
Yeah, they've lost 7 in a row. It's getting pretty bleak. They were swept, 4-game sweep in Boston against the Red Sox. Really bad. And then swept at home against a very lackluster Detroit Tigers team. So not the type of baseball you want to be playing. The Rays are back in first place. The Rays, of course, are surging because that's just what happens it's what happened last year too. The Yankees were in their swoon right as the Blue Jays became unbeatable. And that's what's happening now again, except the Rays are in first. And I'm very anxious for Aaron Judge to come back, for Trent Grisham to come back. And baseball in the Bronx is not going well. Not going well. I did see your Cardinals won though, 11-5 today. So good job.
Yeah. Brewers finally took a loss, which means the Cardinals were able to get one back on them. It's Cardinal Cub weekend coming up, 4th of July weekend. Yep. Cardinal Cub weekend in Chicago, first series in Chicago. Cubs are 11 games over 500 all of a sudden again.
You talking about this is their third stretch of the year now where they're unbeatable. Yep.
What a weird team. They're 49-38 now. They scored 23 runs the other day. They've won 5 straight games. It's a 3:05 Central Time tomorrow. St. Cardinals, Cubs, 4th of July weekend. Should be good. Cardinals need to keep trying to hold on here. They're right in the wild card race still, but I feel like they're a slump away from making a little bit of a fall. Miami's behind them. It's weird because it's Cubs, Phillies, Cardinals, and then it's Marlins, Nationals.
Yep.
It's Marlins, it's Nationals are the 2 teams right behind the Cardinals in the wild card race. I would never have guessed that one. But Padres are.
If you would have told yourself in March that like, oh yeah, the Cardinals will be right next to the Marlins and Nationals going into the All-Star break, you would have been like, I kind of expected it to be a bad year. It's a rebuilding year. Be like, oh no, that's for the playoffs.
Yeah, it's wild. Really, the Reds, the Giants, the Mets, and the Rockies are pretty much out. I mean, Reds maybe have a shot. They're 6 out of the wild card, but Giants, Mets, Rockies, they're pretty much eliminated in the National League. American League, I think we can consider the Royals and the Angels eliminated. Mm-hmm. That's about it. Hey,
Rodney, we haven't had a chance to talk about how my former team, the Los Angeles Angels, has a new interim general manager by the name of John Mozeliak.
Yeah, how about that? Which means Albert Pujols will end up being the manager, right?
It kind of feels like it. So Mozeliak's contract apparently runs to December. I wouldn't be shocked if he just ends up staying on as the permanent, you remember when like Jeopardy was searching for a permanent host after Alex Trebek, and like the original choice, the guy like leading the search ended up picking himself.
Yeah.
I could see like John Mozeliak, he's leading the search for the permanent GM, and then like he ends up picking himself.
He would do that too. I know.
Right? Like I think that's kind of what's going to happen here. And then in 2029 when baseball returns, if Albert still wants the job, then it's his. That's I kind of think that is what would happen if John Mozeliak ends up being the permanent general manager there. Yeah. Cuz I can tell you this, Kurt Suzuki, who was signed to a 1-year contract as a manager, he's going to be manager after this year. I feel pretty good saying that.
No, he's not. Yeah, he's not. But no, yeah, we did not get a chance to talk about that. But Angels, Royals are eliminated in the American League. Reds, Giants, Mets, Rockies. I'm considering them all gone. 6 teams gone. We're 28 days away from the trade deadline.
I'm excited. I think we'll get some moves. Especially in the American League, because like American League, there are like 2 good teams as far as record goes, and one of them is on a 7-game losing streak and playing really poor baseball. Like the American League is so wide open. Like I understand a team in the National League being like, yeah, there's no way that a deadline move is going to be able to have us contend with the Dodgers or the Braves. But in the American League, anything can happen. Like I'm 500 in the American League right now, and I'm like, we might be a player away from actually like winning a division and making a run here. So I think you'll see some moves there.
Yeah, I was looking up. Cardinals Cubs are not the Sunday night baseball game. I thought they might be this week. It's Red Sox. It's Red Sox and Angels.
Oh, hold on.
Wait, no, that's even later. It's Padres Dodgers.
Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, it's a Padres Dodgers weekend. It's a Cubs Cardinals weekend. And you're telling me that they put the Red Sox and Angels? That would be awful.
Red Sox Angels are playing at 8:30 on Sunday night, so that's why I saw that as listed as the last game. But tomorrow's matchup: Andre Palante for the Cardinals. Did you know he's 9-5? I know wins don't matter. Wins don't matter. I get it, but 9-5, okay. Against the recent addition David Peterson for the Cubs.
I'm starting to go the total opposite direction with I'm getting too overwhelmed with stats in baseball and like nerd stuff. Like, and I'm at the point where now I'm starting to think that wins do matter in the sense of like you have wins matter in the sense of that means that you have to pitch like X amount of innings, like you keep your team in the ball game. Like, do you have to be perfect? No, but like if a guy is 9-5, he hasn't pitched poorly. Like a good record always means that the pitcher is good, but a bad record doesn't always mean that the pitcher is bad. Yeah. Does that make sense?
You don't have to tell this to me. I'm higher on wins than a lot of these nerds are. It's not the do all say all, but like if you got 10 wins at the All-Star break.
Yeah, I'm not saying. No, I'm not saying that like, if you're 9-1 right now, you're the front runner for Cy Young. No, but like if you're 9-1, hey, guess what? You're having a good season. Like chances are you're a good pitcher. Like there's no pitcher in baseball that would have a 6+ ERA with 9 wins. Like you have to be pitching at least somewhat well to get those wins. So I don't. Yeah. So like, stop saying they don't matter. They matter. They matter somewhat. Like come on, people.
Well, Aaron Ashby has 12 wins.
It's 12 now?
Yeah. He's got 12 wins.
Is it 12-0 or is it 12-1?
He's 12-1 with a 3.16.
Yeah, that's a good season. It's a good season.
Good season. I did not know that Justin Robleski has 10 for the Dodgers. Yeah, for the Dodgers.
Yeah. How cool is it with the Dodgers that like they can have a season where they get, I think, all start from Blake Snell and like Tyler Glasnow hasn't done shit, and it's like all these things, and yet it's like, we have Justin Robleski who could just come out of nowhere and be an all-star. I'm sure
it's annoying.
It is annoying. Thank you for saying that. I'm glad someone has the has the guts to say it like it is.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. All right. Real quick. We got about 10 minutes left here on the show. I don't know if it's just because it could be a couple reasons, but like, is this going to be 2026? Is this the turning point with soccer in America where like you're going to see a lot more people interested in soccer? Because I'm kind of thinking it is.
Maybe. I mean, let's see how Monday goes. But I mean, it's exciting, I guess. Like as much as soccer could be. Like I think the most exciting part is like everybody loving the the country and the camaraderie at the end of the game. Like, I don't think the game is all that exciting. I just don't think the game of soccer is all that exciting. Period.
Yeah, but like that's you. But like you're online the same way I'm online. Like, surely you see a lot of people like across the sports media landscape or fans that like are very, very into this World Cup, and not just like Team USA. Like, it's all the World Cup matches and giving thoughtful analysis and really just like getting into it. And like, I think it's a combination of, well, first and foremost, the fact that these games are not played halfway across the world and start at like 2 a.m. It's in our country at times that we can all watch. I think you then factor in like USA is having the best World Cup that they've had. What if they beat Belgium? Like, that's the furthest they've ever made it in a World Cup. So like you factor that in, plus you have like, just I don't know. It feels like this is coming at a time, and it's the perfect storm. I'm sure a reason why they wanted this particular World Cup, like the 250th anniversary of America, blah blah blah. But like, this really feels like a turning point here, where like you are going to see more and more people start to be like, hey, this soccer thing's kind of nice. Let me check out what the Premier League is, or let me check out La Liga, or some of these stars that are playing for their countries. Let me see what they're like for their club teams. That's what happened to me 4 years ago. I was a soccer guy, and I loved the World Cup so much that like I was like, I'm gonna check out the Premier League, and now I like watching the Premier League. So I could see that happening on a larger level after this World Cup here.
Yeah. It's Monday is going to be fun for United States. That's going to be an interesting one. Belgium has not played all that well this cup, and so that's a winnable game. But losing one of your best offensive weapons, we didn't get to that. We don't have to break that down. But I'm not a soccer ball knower, but that was not a red card.
Not a red card. Not a red card. I've seen so much worse. Yep, not a red card. No. All right. Let's get to some best bets for betting. A reminder that we didn't have a show on Tuesday. Overruled. So we didn't do a show on Tuesday, which means that we got to recap our bets from last week. So we'll start there. And Rodney, he's trying to come back and did not do so. So He lost his Pirates bet. Did the Pirates lose outright, or did they just win by a run?
The Reds won.
All right. Brewers, though, nailed that one. Cardinals didn't score a run. Egypt, that was a tie, so that's not a win.
And the Mystics
and then you've been rolling WNBA. Oh, like that's been your best sport this summer. So congrats.
Ball knower. 2-3.
2-3. Meanwhile, Astros lost 8-0. So that was a bad one. But the Rays cruised to victory over Arizona. The Marlins shut out the Cardinals. Dodgers and Padres really blew it for me near the end there, but that was a loss. And then France took care of Norway, 3-2. So I pick up another game. Rodney is now 90-100. I am back to 500, 95-95. So you got some work to do, man. I think you got to go 5 WNBA games if they're even. Is the season over? Is it happening? I think it's All-Star week, right?
No, we still got another week or two. There's a small break because it was Commissioner's Cup weekend, but no, there's games going on. Fever are back in action on Sunday. Caitlin Clark's questionable to play, by the way. All right.
I did see. I was just gonna say real quick. I saw the WNBA starting lineups for the All-Star game because I think it is coming up soon. There's like 3 Fever in it, including Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Are they Are they good? Are they good now or no?
I mean, they're not the top team in the league right now. They're like 12-8 or something, but.
They got 3 All-Stars. How are they 12-8?
Yeah, they're 11-8. Best record in the East is 12-8, so they're right there. Anyways, here's this week's picks. I'm going to take Australia to beat Egypt. Yes, they have to win in regulation. They cannot win in penalty kicks. I get it. I'll take the Cardinals to win the opener over the Cubs on Friday. Andre Palante picks up win number 10. Keep the ball in the ballpark there at Wrigley. Going to be wild in Chicago. I'll take your Yankees to beat the Twins. Yankees own the Twins.
They do own the Twins, but the Twins are coming there at a perfect time.
Yeah. Oof. I'll take the Brewers over the Diamondbacks because why not? Brewers like 20 games over 500. Why not? They lost today. They're due to start another win streak. I'll take the Brewers. And then my expertise, the WNBA, I'll take the Aces, although Aja Wilson is questionable. She missed earlier in the week, but Chicago is no good. I'll take the Aces to win by double digits over the Sky. So Australia, Cardinals, Yankees, Brewers, and Aces are my picks.
All right, my bees for bees. I'm going against you with the Cardinals once again. I'm going to take the Cubs. They're red hot. They scored a gazillion runs yesterday, 23-3. Six. Now, how many homers? 8 homers. 8 homers for them. Just insane. Pete Armstrong's hitting like 500 homers every game now. His August through September will be a different story, but we'll talk about that when we get there. But the Cubs are going to win money line. Nationals I have over the Pirates. Marlins I'm going to take on the road against the A's. Orioles I'm going to take against the Reds in Cincinnati. And then my pick is a Saturday match. Morocco, super impressed with Morocco. They're a really good team, top 10 in FIFA. They're facing a Canada team who I think is finally going to meet their match here and meet their end. And give me Morocco for yet another deep World Cup run, back-to-back World Cups for the Moroccans. So those are my best bets for betting. And do you have something?
Morocco and Canada are playing 4th of July in Houston. Paraguay and France are playing 4th of July in Philadelphia.
How about Paraguay, by the way? Paraguay beating Germany. What a performance there.
And before the show, you talked about Cape Verde. They're in Miami taking on, good luck with this one, Argentina.
Yeah. It's a home game for Messi.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is.
Cape Verde, shout out to them. They have not won a World Cup match and yet have advanced to the knockout stage. That's nice. Because they haven't lost a World Cup match either. 3 draws in group play. Yeah. That's going to end against Argentina, I feel. But
correct.
Could you imagine if Cape Verde somehow is able to at least get it to PKs against Argentina, their world-class goalie on display again?
It would be wild.
All right, let's remember someone. I got a couple minutes left. So, hey, Rodney, remember Jamal Lewis?
Yeah, I do remember Jamal Lewis. Why don't you tell us about Jamal Lewis, though?
So, Jamal Lewis had a pretty long 10-year NFL career. Came into the league in 2000. The 5th overall pick. This was a time where it was pretty common for running backs to be selected high up. But the 5th overall pick from the Ravens out of Tennessee, where he was a national champion at Tennessee.
Yes, he was.
With Peyton Manning?
I believe so.
Yeah, so that would have been a Peyton Manning, Jamal Lewis offense with Tennessee there. But anyway, 5th overall pick goes to the Ravens. Someone who had a 10-year career, won a Super Bowl, but a very good career, had over 10,000 yards. But someone who I really think of for just that one insane year he had in 2003. It was a good running back for one season. He was the best running back in the world, where he 2003 rushed for 2,066 yards, third most all time behind Eric Dickerson and Adrian Peterson. He was the offensive player of the year. Keep in mind, this is a time where LaDainian Tomlinson exists and a bunch of other great quarterbacks and wide receivers. Offensive player of the year, 2,066 yards. One game he had 295 yards on the ground. It was the single season record until Adrian Peterson 4 years later had extra yard, 296, yard more. But yeah, obviously that 2003 season stands out as being a classic because aside from that, never had more than about 1,300 yards. But that year he had over 2,000. He had 14 touchdowns. Ironically, led the league in fumbles that year.
He just had the ball a lot. Had the ball in his hands a lot. Dropped it a lot. Yeah, 8 fumbles in back-to-back seasons, actually. 7 lost and 6 lost for him. He finished his career with 10,607 rushing yards, 58 touchdowns.
And what's funny about Jamal Lewis, too, is was not a receiving back at all. He could catch some passes. The year before, he had 47 catches, but the year in 2003 in particular, 2,000 yards on the ground, but 26 catches for 200 yards and no receiving touchdowns that season. So all of the work that he was doing was on the ground. Like no passing game whatsoever. It's just like hand off the ball, halfback pitch, and just go. So that's something that stands out to me as well. But like really was like a 1,000-yard rusher all up until his last year, where he only played half the year with Cleveland at 500 yards in 9 games. So
yeah. How about Cleveland?
Yeah, go ahead.
How about Cleveland getting him at the end of his career? Yeah, he was decent his first 2 years in Cleveland, but kind of got the tail end, got the dud version of Jamal Lewis a little bit.
Yeah. Are you saying that players play worse with the Cleveland Browns?
Yeah. It's been coming over from a rival. They're like, we got this. Although I take it back a little bit. He had 1,300 rushing yards his first season in Cleveland, and then 1,000 his second season. So he wasn't bad his first 2 seasons. 31 games in Cleveland, but then his final year was pretty much hit the wall, I'm done type situation. Played in 6 postseason games, including the 4 with the 2000 Ravens. Good career, Jamal Lewis.
Yeah, good career that I honestly just gets overlooked because of his era. Like he played in the same era as LT, as Sean Alexander, as Priest Holmes, like just take your pick in terms of these great running backs that were sharing the field with him. Only made 1 Pro Bowl, was only an All-Pro once. Now, of course, it was that 1 season. So it was just like that 1 year in particular where he just ascended to like God status. And then after that, it was just like back to his regular performance. A little over 1,000 yards, handful of touchdowns. Was durable. Honestly, like aside from I should say that he actually missed his entire second season in the NFL, 2001. He missed the entire year due to a knee injury. Yeah. So he had 1 year that was a total loss, and then his final year at 30 years old with the Browns, he only played half the year. But like aside from that, he played 15, 16 games a year.
Real quickly, without looking, he was drafted 5th overall in the 2000 NFL draft. Can you name any of the players that were drafted in front of him? The 2000 NFL draft.
Oh, he wasn't like the 1st overall. It was like Courtney Brown or something, right?
That's correct. Second went to Washington.
All right. Second was Washington. Was that like LeVar Arrington?
Yeah, it was. Third went to Washington as well.
Oh boy, they had back-to-back. I'm not going to know third. What was the position?
Tackle out of Alabama.
Yeah, I'm not going to know that one.
Samuels.
Nope.
And then the Bengals drafted Peter Warrick, a wide receiver out of Florida State. And then it went Jamal Lewis. Looking down the list. Yeah. Plaxico Burress was 8th. Brian Urlacher was 9th. Ron Dane was 11th.
Ugh. That was not a good pick for the Giants.
That was the Sebastian Janikowski draft.
Yeah, Sebastian Janikowski, I'm looking now, 17th overall pick for the Oakland Raiders. Right after him was Chad Pennington for the Jets, and then right after him was Sean Alexander for the Seahawks. So it's funny, like the top 5, or I should say the top 4, incredibly underwhelming. Like Courtney Brown was a flat-out bust. LeVar Arrington was pretty good. I don't know if he was ever like an all-pro caliber player, but like made some Pro Bowls. Chris Samuels was good. Made a lot of Pro Bowls. Peter Warrick was nothing. But like then like Brian Urlacher was good. John Abraham was really good. Sean Alexander. I mean, as far as like taking a kicker in the first round, I mean, Sebastian Janikowski was with the Raiders for 17 years.
Yeah. Yeah. They got their money's worth there.
I would say so, right? Like the value, they probably worked for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't really doubt their 17th overall pick. I just think it's noteworthy and it's interesting. That was like the first time we heard of a kicker being picked that high, 17th overall, and had a pretty nice career with the Raiders. So good for him. But that's the 2000 draft, the 2000 NFL draft.
I love that. That's the direction we always go with. Like we remember a guy and then you immediately go to the draft class. I love that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's part of my job when we remember somebody. So.
All right. Well, that about does it for the show tonight. Appreciate the people who chimed in, who listened and hung out with us. A reminder, a couple things to follow us at Stupid Sports Show on Twitter. And Rodney's Substack putting out free picks daily straight to your inbox. So scan the QR code on the screen, and it'll take you right to the Substack. Sign up, get those picks. He's winning. He's winning more there than he is on the show here. I promise you.
That's true.
And programming note, as Rodney mentioned at the top of the show, we're off on Tuesday. So we'll be back a week from today for our next show, Thursday. Hopefully to talk where LeBron ended up. But I hope it's like Wednesday or Thursday. Because if he signs on Sunday and we talk about it 4 days later, it's kind of going to lose its luster a little bit.
We should be able to next Thursday kind of break down the All-Star teams too. Because that's the final few days before the break. So we'll have teams, we'll have our rosters, and no, I mean there may be last minute changes that guys that back out or whatnot, but we should have our All-Star rosters.
It'll just be the 2025 World Series. It'll just be the Blue Jays and the Dodgers.
Yeah. Oh. But Cardinals will get Jordan Walker's got to be in it at some point. But
yeah, he'll be in.
And then Ollie's there. Happy birthday, Ollie Marmol. It's his birthday today.
Happy birthday, Ollie. You're doing a good job this year. You're earning that extension. Well done.
You're hanging in there.
All right. Well, that about does it. So for Rodney Newpol, I'm Tim Night Train Van Stratton. We'll talk to you next week for another edition of the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth. See you guys.
See ya.
Step right up, dummies, and listen to the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth with Rodney Newpol and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.